One column argues at Columbia and beyond, Jews must not hide or apologize. And the Wall Street Journal's editorial board calls out the Ivy League's anti-Israel protest meltdown. It says school officials reap what they politically monocultural facilities have sown. And this quote, anyone who thinks concerns about anti-Semitism are overdone is not paying attention. The protesters carry banners calling the honor of martyrs of Palestine and signs pointing to pro-Israel counter-protests as al-Qassam's next targets. Al-Qassam, of course, is the military wing of Hamas that obviously is a call to kill Jews. Basically, all of Hamas are killers. They're all terrorists. Plus, they have a military wing. These anti-Israel protests have broken out all over at the top 5 ranked U.S. universities. Look at your screen. Princeton, MIT, Harvard, Stanford, Yale, and nearly half of the top 50. That is only counting just the past week. David Pomerantz, sophomore at Columbia University. We have spoken in the past. We have talked about hostages and all sorts of things. We are in a different lane right now, and I wish on this Passover it were different. Please tell me what you were experiencing on the campus of Columbia.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Harris, and thanks for doing this segment. I think it's important that the entire country is aware of what's happening at Columbia and, as you mentioned, at campuses all across the country. What I'm experiencing right now is a state of chaos, a state of disorder. The university is no longer become a place where students can learn and study and prepare for finals. It's instead become the home of these rabid anti-Israel protests. We have an encampment, as you mentioned, which is filled not just with students, but with outside agitators. I was talking to a Columbia public safety agent yesterday who told me that he can guarantee for a fact that there are people inside those tents on the campus who are not students, who have no affiliation with the university, who are chanting to attack and kill Jewish students.
So, David, that's particularly a problem because the NYPD held its news conference with their deputy commissioner yesterday, just off the campus of Columbia, explaining why they don't have a bigger presence on campus because it's private and the school has to call them. But what you're telling me is that some of the people in those tents, agitators, if they're not students, what are they doing on that campus, don't belong there. The university has every right to kick them off. The police actually, that would be a trespass. Because they're not students. They have every right to go get them. Sure.
Not just every right, every obligation to go get them and to preserve the safety of the students and the faculty who are trying to learn there. And I'd add that the contempt that these protesters have is not just limited to Israel and Zionists. I'm there on the ground. I'm listening to them every day. They hate the United States. Yeah. There's a lot of venom towards the police officers who were there, the public safety agents, chanting vile chants towards them. They had a list of demands. And they said, if these demands aren't met, we're not leaving. The demands as it related to divestment of Israel got a lot of public attention. But one of their demands was to eliminate and defund the Columbia Public Safety Department. And I think that speaks to their ideology. They want no public safety agents on our campus.
Talk to me about the Columbia safety agents and what they're doing.
So the NYPD is no longer allowed on campus. That's a decision that's been made by the president. So they're basically there to keep the peace and monitor what's happening, but they're pretty limited in terms of what they can do.
Are they armed?
No.
How are they keeping the peace?
Standing around, telling me they wish they could do more.
Wow. Thoughts and prayers. They probably aren't even doing that. They're probably not even praying at that point. I mean, they know that there's nothing they can do. I hope that they would be. So last quick just topic with you. You're not on campus today. What will happen with this hybrid situation? Are you making a decision kind of real time of whether I'm going to study from home online or go in person?
Yes, I think not just me. I think every student is making that decision right now. I think it depends on how the university handles it. I think as of right now, it's toxic, it's unsafe, it's unstable. I think people are inclined to stay away. But if the encampments get cleared, then people will be more comfortable coming back to campus.
How shocked are you that you have so many people who you were on campus with who feel this way? Let's forget about the people who aren't supposed to be there, who are in the tents, who don't go to the school. But you know some of those kids.
I do. I'd say I'm disappointed, but I'm not shocked. Because I can feel the ideology, I can feel the venom. It's been building up for quite a while. I think this is indicative of their broader worldview. They don't think that the United States is a force for good. They'll cheer on our enemies like Iran and Hamas and the Houthis over us. So it's disappointing, but it's not shocking. I'll tell you that.
David, we're in this with you as Americans. Everybody I run into right now, they get it. And you know, some people are marching they'll go to anything, an envelope opening. We saw that after many things in this country, but particularly George Floyd. I wish the best for you. God bless you.
Thank you.
And happy Pesach, as much as it can be for you.
Absolutely.
Have a peaceful and a sweet one.
Will do.